Senator Alex Padilla confronted Pam Bondi about her previous involvement in promoting claims that the 2020 election was stolen, claims that have been repeatedly debunked and that have had real-world consequences for our democracy. Bondi's reluctance to provide a simple yes or no answer about evidence of election fraud illustrates a broader concern. A top law enforcement official must prioritize facts over political convenience. The Attorney General's job is not to serve as a political ally, but to defend the Constitution and the law.
Thank you, Ms. Bondi, for being here today, and I, too, would like to welcome your family and friends who are here.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity to meet yesterday to learn about your priorities and discuss a number of issues that are important to me. But I got to tell you, as I reflected on our conversation yesterday and as I've observed the hearing today, I continue to have significant reservations on your ability to function as a truly independent Attorney General for your friend. Let's say you keep referring to him, your friend, President-elect Trump. So I hope you can address some of these concerns through your responses to my questions here. Now, the first issue area is something that we didn't get a chance to touch on yesterday. So I actually want to follow up on some of Senator Durbin's questions from earlier about the 2020 election. And to be specific, on the day after the 2020 presidential general election, you traveled to Philadelphia to appear alongside President Trump's then attorney, Rudy Giuliani. And together, you falsely asserted that President Trump had, quote, won Pennsylvania in that election. Now, I want to be clear, at that moment, there were still at least 1 million ballots left to be counted in Pennsylvania. Of course, President Biden went on to win the state by more than 80,000 votes. But in the following days, even after the results were clear, you continued to double down on the big lie, promoting falsehoods about election fraud and cheating without offering any actual evidence. And I remember it clearly because I served as California Secretary of State at the time, and I invited anybody associated with the Trump campaign who was making these claims to come forward with evidence of irregularities in the election or massive voter fraud. 4 years later, I still have seen none. So I ask you today, do you have any evidence of election fraud or irregularities in the 2020 election?
So, First Senator.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
First Senator.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
First Senator. First Senator. I'm so sorry about the fires to you and Senator Schiff and what you're going through in your states. I have to say that.
I appreciate
think
that.
All
My
of our,
clock is
I'll
ticking,
answer
and I
your
want to
question. All
hear
of our
your answer.
hearts go out to everyone in California for what you're facing right now. I'm glad you asked the question about Pennsylvania.
It's a yes or no question.
I was
Do
hoping
you have
someone
evidence, yes or
would.
no?
Senator, I was hoping you'd ask the question.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
I traveled to Pennsylvania.
Do you have the evidence,
I
yes
traveled,
or no?
Senator, to Pennsylvania.
Okay. You're not answering my question. If you have no evidence to offer, let me ask you this. Will you now retract your previous statements that Trump won Pennsylvania in the 2020 election, yes or no?
Oh, Senator, I traveled to Pennsylvania, and let me tell you what I saw firsthand.
Yes or
no? I didn't talk about California because I was not in California. I talked about
yes or no. Last time I'm going to ask.
I talked about Pennsylvania because
Mr.
I
Chair,
was there.
I'm going to move on because she's clearly not answering my questions. And I want to know, colleagues, for everybody, members of the committee and everybody watching, that the attorney who stood beside Mr. Giuliani was making very similar statements. And he has since been disbarred from multiple jurisdictions for making these false claims about the 2020 election in court. And like Mr. Giuliani, as you've noted today, you've taken an oath to uphold the Constitution just as an attorney. And now you're asking us to consider you to serve as the chief law enforcement officer in our country. So it's imperative, Ms. Bondi, that you subscribe to facts and evidence and not politically convenient conspiracy theories. Your job will be, I'm speaking.
Padilla pressed Bondi on a critical point. The people who support and administer elections must be protected, not intimidated. Lawyers and officials who were falsely accused of election misconduct were put at risk by misinformation, and someone tasked with the nation's highest law enforcement responsibilities must understand the weight of those words. Leadership in the Department of Justice is not just a ceremonial title. It requires clarity, courage, and a commitment to fact-based decision-making. When someone sidesteps direct questions or refuses to acknowledge established truths, it erodes public trust in our institutions.
Your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Now, I know that earlier you agreed that Joe Biden is in fact president, but many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie about the 2020 election. Then we'll move on to a different topic. 'Cause I know
Senator,
that's one
you were
that you're obviously
speaking.
not comfortable
May
with.
I speak? You cut
When
me
I ask
off
you the
when I
next
was
question, you
speaking.
can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi.
Well, I'd
now,
like
when
to
we met
answer the
yesterday,
previous one, Senator.
when we met yesterday,
You pointed your finger at me and
you
said
did not
you were
seem to
speaking.
be familiar
Let me answer
with
my question.
the
I'm not going to be
citizenship
bullied by you,
clause, the
Senator
14th
Padilla.
Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you
And I'm
didn't want to
hoping you're
hear
more
my
familiar
answer
with it
about
today
Pennsylvania.
after I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me in this committee what the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I am confirmed
no,
as
you're
Attorney
the one
General,
asking for a confirmation
hey,
vote,
you
ma'am.
cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment, we all know, addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to, even given your remarks today, working with you and the people of California if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was preparing for today.
So on the 14th Amendment, now you've testified repeatedly to this committee that you will uphold the laws of this country and defend the Constitution of the United States. Do you believe birthright citizenship is the law of the land, and will you defend it regardless of a child born in the United States, regardless of their parents' immigration status?
Senator, I will study birthright citizenship. I would love to meet with you regarding
Ma'am, you're
birthright
asking us
citizenship.
to
Can I
continue
answer
to
the
serve as the
question?
Attorney General of the United States, and you still need to study the 14th Amendment of the Constitution? That is not helping me have more confidence in your ability to do this job. One other immigration-related question, I'll steer clear of the
I have
Constitution
one
and the
regarding
law.
that I'd like to
Senator
talk about.
Hirona asked you earlier, but I don't think you answered her question. Can you please tell us, do you agree with the statement that immigrants are, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, yes or no?
I did not say that.
I did not say that you said that. I'm asking if you agree with it, yes or no?
I did not say that.
Do you agree with it, yes or
Senator,
no?
my great-grandparents are immigrants.
Do you agree with it,
They
yes or no?
came here from Sicily
Do you agree
through
with it,
Ellis
yes or
Island
no?
when they were teenagers.
Do you agree with it, yes or no?
Senator, let me answer the question.
Yes or no? It's
My
real simple.
great-grandparents came here, immigrated to this country from Sicily, recently went and found each of their birth certificates. We are a nation made up of immigrants. Do I believe immigrants are poisoning our country? No, Senator.
Thank you very much.
The hearing also focused on Bondi's knowledge of the Constitution, particularly the 14th Amendment and the principle of birthright citizenship. Her responses suggested that she would need to study and consult further before fully committing to defending this foundational law. While the willingness to learn is important, the Attorney General must already have a strong understanding of constitutional rights. The 14th Amendment is not optional. It is a core part of the legal framework that guarantees citizenship and protections for everyone born on U.S. soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status. Any hesitation or lack of clarity from someone in this role raises red flags about their readiness to uphold the law impartially. Immigration issues were another key area. Padilla asked Bondi directly whether she agreed with the claim that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. Her emphatic rejection of that statement and her personal connection to her immigrant grandparents was a small but meaningful reassurance that she does not subscribe to xenophobic rhetoric. However, the hearing revealed a tension. While she distanced herself from extreme views, her pattern of evasive or deflective answers on other substantive legal questions leaves the public asking how she would handle the enormous responsibilities of the Department of Justice. This hearing is a stark reminder that the Attorney General's role is not about defending a political figure or maintaining party loyalty. It is about protecting voters, defending the Constitution, and ensuring that justice is applied fairly to all Americans. Every citizen, whether a public official, journalist, or immigrant, should be confident that the law is enforced without favoritism. In a time when misinformation and political pressure threaten democratic institutions, the importance of a knowledgeable, independent, and principled Attorney General cannot be overstated. For viewers, there are three clear takeaways. First, understand the importance of evidence-based leadership. Second, recognize the real-world implications when public officials spread misinformation. And third, stay engaged. Oversight isn't just the responsibility of senators, it is the responsibility of every citizen. Contact your representatives, ask critical questions, and support transparency in our government. Democracy is not self-sustaining. It thrives only when citizens insist on accountability and integrity from those in power. For viewers, there are 3 clear takeaways. First, understand the importance of evidence-based leadership. Second, recognize the real-world implications when public officials spread misinformation. And third, stay engaged. Oversight isn't just the responsibility of senators, it is the responsibility of every citizen. Contact your representatives, ask critical questions, and support transparency in our government. Democracy is not self-sustaining. It thrives only when citizens insist on accountability and integrity from those in power.